Okay, hello guys. Please excuse my hair in this video. I am just starting my curly hair journey and we have a long way to go, as you can see. My name is Anthony. My channel is BearfacedBeauty. And I don't have much on here, but today I did want to talk about something a little different. Today I wanted to talk about bariatric surgery. Bariatric surgery, for those of you who don't know, is weight loss surgery. I am considering getting weight loss surgery. So a little bit about me. I've always been a bigger boy since I was really young, probably since around the age of 6 or 7 and beyond. I have been a bigger kid, and even now a bigger man. So it's something that I've always struggled with. I have family that's morbidly obese, and so I think there might be a genetic factor as well. But of course, my eating habits and stuff like that have all been a part of why I have always been a bigger person. At this day and age, I am 27 years old, and I've definitely lost a lot of weight before, gained a lot of it back, that whole yo-yo dieting effect. And I think that I am at an age where I can accept that I might need a little help with this. So that's kind of where I am with this and how I came to bariatric surgery. Also, aside from just losing weight, because it's not about just losing weight or a number, I want to try to get healthy before I could potentially get diabetes or high blood pressure or high cholesterol, as it does run on both sides of my family. So knock on wood that I don't have it now, right? Shit. That's kind of how I got to bariatric surgery, and just kind of wanting to look into it and see if I could be a candidate. Bariatric surgeries that I've been looking into are the lap band and or the vertical sleeve. So the lap band, for those of you who do not know, is a foreign device that they implant around your stomach, around the center of your stomach, or maybe not the center, but like in the middle of your stomach, and this device has a balloon. They fill the balloon with a saline solution, which saline is pretty much harmless to the body, so you don't have to worry about that. But they fill it with a saline solution, and when it gets filled, it expands, right? When it expands, it constricts around your stomach, and it pretty much makes it into 2 pouches instead of 1. Okay, so you have like a small upper pouch and then a bigger lower pouch. So it wouldn't be in the middle of your stomach, but you have a small upper pouch and a bigger lower pouch. What that does is basically slows down the rate of which you can eat, and also reduces the amount of food you can eat at one sitting, right? So I think it's like a couple ounces of food is what people end up being able to eat at a given time. So it really restricts the amount of food you can eat. The thing with lap band is that if you do overeat, or you do try to, overindulge in one sitting, you pretty much will throw up, I have 2 friends that have a lap band, and both of them have been really, really successful with a lap band. Very successful. Like, they've lost a lot of weight and they've kept it off. And I do see the good and the bad in it. Like, I see, obviously they've lost weight and they are healthier overall, but I definitely do see when they overeat or when they eat too fast and they have to throw up. And they seem to deal with it just fine. I don't know that everybody wants to feel like that all the time, but they seem to do well with it, and it's been successful for them. That is an option. That's one of the surgeries. Complications with the lap band that I've researched so far, the scariest ones to me are that the lap band can move. Like, I guess if you overexert yourself or you rub against something too hard, the lap band can move on your stomach or slip, and that doesn't sound very fun. And then also, I've heard that it can erode into your stomach, which is something that I don't really want to ever happen. Aside from that, you do end up with this like port that you can feel on one of your ribs, it's like on your abdomen somewhere. And you can physically feel that. I know I have a friend, I felt it on her. And it's easy. You can really feel it. And if you do lose a lot of weight, I dare say you might be able to see it, you might be able to actually see it if you like stretch or something like that. Also, I believe acid reflux is a big one. And I could imagine it would be a big one, especially if, every time you overeat, you throw up. I would imagine that that would become a thing. So that's something to take into consideration as well. So the other surgery is the vertical sleeve, which seems to be probably the most popular procedure right now. I don't have statistics, but if you search bariatric surgery on YouTube, you pretty much will almost exclusively see vertical sleeve patients, and a lot of people who had lap band and ended up getting a vertical sleeve because they had complications with the lap band or it wasn't working or whatever the case may be. With that surgery, it's quite different because that is a permanent procedure you're going to be getting with vertical sleeve. And what they do in that procedure is they pretty much remove about 75% of your actual stomach. They're removing the whole, 75% of the stomach, and then the 25% that's left is stitched up together and it's made into like a sleeve versus that kind of kidney bean shape that, the stomach tends to look like when you look at the stomach in its original form or whatever the case may be. It becomes like a sleeve. So there's a lot less room to overeat. You cannot overeat. But it still maintains the normal functioning of a stomach with absorbing nutrients and all of that. So similar to the lap band, it's restricting the amount of food you can eat. However, this is a permanent surgery. They're never gonna just go back in and give you another 75% of what your stomach was in the future if you don't like the surgery you had. If you get the surgery and they remove that, that's it. Say goodbye to 75% of your stomach, right? So a lot of people are not keen on the idea of having such a major surgery in that regard and such a permanent surgery versus a lap band where, yes, you have a foreign body in you. Ultimately, you could get it removed in the future if you really don't want to keep it in. You could remove it. So that is appealing to some people. So for me, what I've been looking into more so has been probably the vertical sleeve, just because, it's a permanent surgery, but I want permanent results, long-lasting results. And I don't know, some of the complications of the lap band are just very scary to me. It's not appealing to me to have, a band around my stomach that can slide up and down, like erode into my stomach after a long time. That is not appealing to me. To me, that sounds a little bit scarier than getting it removed in a surgery that they're trained to do and kind of recovering with guidance from a healthcare team. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little, I don't know. So that's kind of what I've been looking into. So that's just my own research that I've been doing. So where am I at in this process? Right now, all I've done is I've gone to my PCP. If you have HMO insurance, you have to go to your primary care provider and you will have to get a referral to a bariatric specialist, okay? That's just how it works for HMO insurances. If you have PPO, you can find a bariatric surgeon and do all of that yourself. However, you still are responsible to make sure that this particular surgeon and this, wherever you're going for your services are covered still under your PPO plan. The only difference is you don't have to go through a referral system. So that's nice in its own way. But if you have HMO like me, go to your primary care provider, get a referral for a bariatric specialist, and make your appointment. And that's pretty much where I'm at now. I'm at the very beginning, This is the beginning of this whole journey for me. So, yeah, I have an appointment in about a month from now where I'm supposed to meet with them, and I'm definitely gonna, write down questions that I want to ask them because this is the time to ask them these questions. And just, that's pretty much overall where I'm gonna get an idea of what I'm gonna end up doing. If you're just starting this journey like myself, do the same thing, maybe we'll end up getting surgery around the same time or whatever. We can go through this together. But do kind of what I'm doing. Go to your primary care provider, get your referral, and make your appointment, Definitely look into this yourself, I think, first. And I think YouTube is a great place to get testimonials and stuff like that, but also take it with a grain of salt because not everybody's experience is going to be your experience, but it is a good place to go and just potentially see what results could be like, and also understand what the complications can be, and what the struggles are going to be if you decide to go through with this. So, utilize YouTube, utilize the internet, definitely ask your bariatric specialist and your provider about this procedure and just what, you know, any questions you might have. If you're going through this and you're in the beginning of it like myself, just from looking on YouTube and stuff like that, it does seem like there is a process. So, you know, try to be patient. Some people seem like they get it in about 6 months, some people in like 2 or 3 months, and it really just varies across the board, because for a lot of people you have to go get a psych evaluation and you have to do like nutrition courses and stuff like that, which I think are great things to do. Because if you're gonna go through this process and you're gonna go under a knife and, you know, remove 75% of your stomach permanently, then you owe yourself to do the research and learn how to take care of your body afterwards, right? The right way, because otherwise it's not gonna be successful. You know, there are people who are not successful after bariatric surgery. And so it is important to like learn about nutrition. And it is important to look at your mental health. One thing I've noticed from looking on YouTube is that a lot of people do talk about the mental health aspect of it. And I really appreciate that. And I think that that's important because as an overweight person, having been an overweight person most of my entire life, for me, and I can't say for everybody, but I think a lot of us do struggle with some mental health issues, whether it be body image or depression or social anxiety. A lot of factors to this, and a lot of that is a factor in why we still overindulge and why we look at food as therapy and comfort, right? And I think, again, if we're gonna go and decide to do this and, you know, go through this whole process and potentially pay a bunch of money and all of that, it is important to pay attention to the mental health and emotional health aspect as well. You know, that is a big part of why people are not successful. So that is something I've been paying attention to. And I do plan on really working on that part of myself to make sure that if I do go through with this, I don't go back and resort to food as comfort. Start gaining weight back or, you know, start being unhealthy all over again. So that is a big factor. This is just kind of where my mind is at with all this. Like I said, this is the very beginning for me, and I wanted to make videos on this because I wanted to kind of track my own journey. I wanted to see, like, am I gonna go through with this? What the results could be like if I do go through with this? What are the complications of trying to get the surgery or the surgery itself or the recovery process or the weight loss process? I wanted to be able to look at this because this is important to me right now. So yeah, and I thought it would be beneficial also to be transparent and have this up. So in case somebody else is kind of in the same place as me, you know, maybe you won't feel alone. And maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't know you had to go to your primary care provider, or, you know, call your insurance to make sure it's covered and what the cost will be. Maybe you didn't think about that, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, maybe this will help you too. So I definitely am going to come back and update you guys with this. Like I said, I am a 27-year-old man. I'm 5'9". I weigh about 270 pounds, which puts me in, like, I'm pretty sure it puts me at the morbidly obese category. This is pretty much the biggest I've ever been, I think, or at least weight-wise. I've always struggled with my weight. And yeah, and I'm considering bariatric surgery. I have a consultation with a bariatric specialist around Valentine's Day, I think. And so I'm definitely going to go to that. And hopefully I'll be able to come back and give you an update once I finish that and kind of see what happens next, you know? Feel free to leave me advice, show me love, send me good vibes, like whatever, anything positive. Feel free, if you guys want to comment down below, join me on this journey. I would really appreciate that. I think I'm kind of looking for people to interact with me regarding bariatric surgery because, you know, I don't know, I think it'd be nice to have a little bit of a support system. So yeah, definitely engage with me and look forward to a new video in probably a month or so. And who knows, maybe I'll come and do some makeup stuff too, because I still clearly play with makeup, and so maybe I can make this a beauty channel after all. But yeah, for now, that is all, guys. My name is Anthony, and I can't wait to talk to you guys soon.